Hey, welcome back to the channel. These right here are the brand new Apple AirPods 3, the third generation of the classic AirPods, and as you can see, they got a huge redesign. These no longer look like the first or second generation AirPods, but rather a lot more like the AirPods Pro, if you removed the silicone tip. So why did Apple make these? And in a day where there are so many budget-friendly earbuds that do a lot more than they used to, are these still a good buy? Well, in this video, we'll be diving into all of those, including what's different with these earbuds, why you might want to buy them, and of course the sound and microphone test as well. So we have plenty to talk about in this video, but let's start off with what's actually new about these earbuds. Besides just the shape, Apple also added a lot of features on here to make them more similar to the AirPods Pro. These now have things like Magsafe charging on the back, they have water resistance on the case and the earbuds, more on that later, they have AdaptiveEQ, spatial audio, they have force sensors, and a lot of other differences like that. But of course, the biggest difference that you're going to notice immediately is the difference in the physical design. So let's talk a little bit more about how Apple redesigned these and maybe why they did that as well. So looking at the case on the outside, the first thing you'll notice is that the case is slightly different in shape and design than the other previous cases. It opens more similarly to the AirPods Pro in a landscape style like this, but at the same time, it's smaller and lighter than the AirPods Pro case. You're getting 30 hours of battery when you include the case, so they're definitely packing a lot in there. And of course, in the earbuds themselves, you're still getting 6 hours. And of course, we are getting a lot of ways to charge these earbuds, including lightning cable on the bottom, Qi wireless charging, or MagSafe charging as well, which I think all of those are great ways to charge these earbuds. Personally, I will be using MagSafe and Qi the most, but one kind of strange thing that they did here, I think this would have been a perfect opportunity to use the iPhone 12, which has MagSafe, to be able to charge these. I really wish that they would have something that you could magnetically snap it on there, but instead, it's kind of the opposite of that. These do not stick on the back of your iPhone, nor are they able to charge on the back of your iPhone. So the fact that they don't stick means that it's unlikely Apple's going to give us the ability anytime soon to charge anything on the back of the iPhone. Now, once you look inside the case, the earbuds themselves, like I said, are a pretty drastic redesign over the first and second generation AirPods. So these right here, you can see, look a lot more like the AirPods Pro. The stem is 33% shorter, they have more of that elongated top, so it fits a little differently, and I'll talk more about the fit and comfort in a second. But one of the big differences is the proximity sensor on the inside. And this is something I didn't know I needed until we got these earbuds here. So the AirPods 3 have something really interesting with that proximity sensor. Rather than doing what most other earbuds do and just detecting when they're close to anything, these specifically use an optical sensor to detect when they're contacting your skin. So this means if you're listening to, say, a podcast, you take them out of your ears, it'll automatically pause, and you set them down on a table. Unlike most other earbuds, this will know that it's on a table and not in your ear and will therefore not start playing. Because I think we've all been there, you take your earbuds out, you set them on a table, it starts playing, and then you pick it up 20 minutes later and you're way off from wherever you left off in your podcast. Additionally, they changed the way you control these. These now have force sensors on the side, again, much like the AirPods Pro, although I wish, again, that they added some more customization in the software. You don't actually have any way to customize the force sensors, the controls, and so what they come with is what you get. But of course, let's talk a little bit more about how these fit in your ears. Unlike the original AirPods in the second gen, where you kind of just went in and set them vertically down like that, I find that these you kind of have to set them in and twist a little bit, so they're pointed down in your ear canal. And as far as the comfort goes and the fit, it takes some getting used to exactly how to put these in your ear, and if you don't do it perfectly, they definitely are uncomfortable, and of course everybody's ears are different, but speaking from my own experience, once you get it right, I find that these are really comfortable, and I can easily listen to them for maybe 2 hours before I get any kind of ear fatigue. But unlike a lot of silicone tip earbuds, and I think this is a big thing with why Apple continues to make the open design, unlike the silicone tips, your ears never get hot, they never get sweaty, there's never any kind of seal that you have to worry about getting right. Instead, these are much more forgiving, you can say that. And of course, because they're more forgiving and because they're not customizable, you're not going to have the perfect fit for every single ear, but it's going to be good enough that you don't need to have the perfect fit. I found that when I'm working out, when I'm running, these are definitely secure enough in my ears. And I also noticed that if I'm talking on the phone for a long time, something I had an issue with the AirPods Pro is that with the AirPods Pro, if I was talking a lot, maybe the movement of my jaw, whatever it might be, the AirPods would work their way out of my ear, specifically the left one. Whereas these don't do that. They kind of just hang on my ear no matter what I do, and without the silicone tip being there to force it out, these really seem to fit well. And of course, that ties in with what I was saying before about why Apple chose to make another pair of open design earbuds, because the rest of the market's using silicone tips or even foam tips, being that you can get active noise cancellation, a better fit, a tighter fit, more noise isolation, better sound. Like, there's a lot of advantages to having a tight seal in your ears. And yet, Apple chose to do the open design because I think they know a lot of people really like this design. And I just know a lot of people, for example, my brother, complain that they cannot wear silicone tip earbuds. These are definitely not for everybody, but for people who like open designs, these should be a pretty comfortable fit. And on top of that, if you either don't like the original AirPods or the AirPods Pro, I recommend trying these because they definitely feel very different than both of those. And hey guys, just a side note, I actually will be comparing these to the Apple AirPods Pro, so if you want to know the difference between these and the Pros, definitely go down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss that video when it comes out. Now, I've already talked longer about fit and comfort than I do in most other earbud reviews, but I think that's important with these earbuds because when you're looking at them, that's going to be the main reason people buy these. It's not going to be for sound quality, although they sound good. If you really cared about sound quality, you would buy either the AirPods Pro or maybe the Sennheiser buds, the Sony buds. Like, there's so many other options out there. The reason people will be buying these earbuds, in my opinion, is going to be for that fit and that comfort. But other than that, there are some other things that we really like about these, some things that they changed from the previous designs. And one of them, as I mentioned earlier, is the water resistance. So the earbuds themselves have IPX4 water resistance, which is pretty standard. We see that in pretty much every other pair of earbuds in the market, if not even better. So that's nothing special, nothing that great, but the case itself is also IPX4 water resistant, which I think is a pretty nice add there. Now, looking back at the design of the earbuds, you'll also notice all of these vents all the way around the earbuds. There's black ovals everywhere. Some of them are for vents for the adaptive EQ and for the bass and the overall sound quality, while others are for the microphones. So speaking of microphones, let's actually get into a microphone test now to see how good these sound. So this is an indoor microphone test with the brand new Apple AirPods 3. Leave a comment and let me know how these sound. I mean, honestly, we already know the AirPods have always been really good with their microphones, so it's no surprise that these also sound pretty clear. But you're not always inside. Let's go outside and see what they sound like in a noisier environment. All right, now this is a microphone test outside, louder environment, there's some cars going by. Honestly, these microphones do a fantastic job. So leave a comment and let me know if you can hear what I'm saying, even next to a busy road. So open design earbuds can be a little bit tricky with audio quality. So talking about how these actually sound, let's first talk about how they connect. They have Bluetooth 5.0, which is relatively new. It's not 5.2, but it's good enough that you're going to get a pretty strong and stable connection. These also have mono mode, and of course, being Apple, they're going to be in the Apple ecosystem, which means that if I'm connected to my iPhone and then I start playing something on my iMac or my MacBook or my tablet, whatever it might be, if it's in the Apple ecosystem, these will automatically switch to the other device. So you can't really customize the EQ. As I mentioned, you can't customize the touch controls. Like, there's a lot of things you can't customize, but these do have adaptive EQ, which is supposed to give you a pretty nice sound no matter what you're listening to and what the air conditions are around you. However, being an open design, the sound is very easily altered by how you wear them in your ears. But these are nowhere near as bad as the Galaxy Beans. Instead, these, I find, for most situations, sit exactly where they need to be. When you're listening to music with these, the sound profile is pretty impressive. You're getting a pretty rich, full sound with decent clarity, a surprising amount of bass, and overall a little bit more spacey and airy than a lot of other earbuds. The vocals from Kanye's song Hurricane, or specifically The Weeknd in that song, are vibrant and lively. They're fun to listen to, and then if you're listening to the new song In Color by My Morning Jacket, it sounds warm and rich, and you can really hear the hands sliding on the guitar, so a lot of details like that. But then there are other situations, like when you get to the second verse or the chorus, that sometimes the vocals and the instruments get a little bit muddled together. So there's not always the best instrument separation, and I think that's kind of tied into the more open design of these earbuds. But overall, you get a pretty nice balance. And even though you lose a little bit of low-level detail on things like the cymbals and the hi-hats, the overall sound quality of these earbuds, I think, is far more impressive than pretty much any other pair of earbuds that have an open design like these. Of course, if you really care a lot about sound quality, you're going to get something that has the silicone tips, and you're going to get a better listening experience. But all things considered, for that open design, I think these do a very impressive job. Now, something else I want to note with these earbuds is that I generally have to listen to them at a slightly louder volume than I would with other earbuds because, again, you are hearing a lot of sounds around you, so you need to turn the volume up a bit to really hear your music, and with that, you're going to get a little bit more sound bleed. So if you're worried about people around you hearing what you're listening to, whether you are worried about disturbing them because you're in a workplace, or if you listen to some type of music that you don't want people to know you listen to, then these might not be the best. Now, there's a lot to talk about with these earbuds, but let's kind of break down the pros and cons of using them. The first one, and the biggest one, probably the main reason you'd buy these earbuds, is if you're looking for an open ear design. Personally, I like silicone tips because you get active noise cancellation and things like that, but a lot of people, like I said, are just not comfortable with that, and they want this open ear design. So that's a big positive there. They also, unlike the first and second generation, are much more subtle, much more compact, and have that much shorter stem. So as far as aesthetics go, I think that's a big win, but you can leave a comment and let me know how these look to you. Personally, like I said, I think they look a lot better than the first generation, but if you're not a fan of the stem, then maybe these aren't for you anyway. Also, the smaller case with the Magsafe I think is a big positive there. The water resistance is great, and the sound quality is definitely a big improvement over previous models. Additionally, we can't overlook the benefits of being in the Apple ecosystem, from pairing, easy switching, Find My, and Siri, all of those giving you a ton of functionality on here, but of course, not everything's good with these. Like I said, some of the drawbacks include the lack of customization, from being unable to customize the fit, unable to customize the controls, unable to customize the EQ. Like, you can't really change much with these earbuds. What you get is what you get. On top of that, they don't have any kind of volume controls with the force sensors, so if you want to change the volume, you're either going to use your phone or you're going to tell Siri to do that. They have obviously terrible isolation, being that open design, so if you're in a louder environment, you really have to turn up your music to hear what it is. And kind of a weird one. This is a big one that I want to point out that a lot of people might be bothered by if you have good hearing. And this is that for some reason, if I put the AirPods in my ear and I don't have music playing, I hear very subtle but a very, very high-pitched ringing, or ringing in the left earbud. So it sounds like you have tinnitus. I don't have, that's not tinnitus, it's not what I'm hearing. It actually is from the earbud. And I think that's kind of a strange thing that is specifically on the left one. And then really the only other drawbacks are that you only have one color. I don't think that's a big deal, but some people like other colors for earbuds. And the last one is that these are pretty pricey for what you're getting in 2021 and 2022. Being $179, there are a lot of earbuds out there that are selling for $100 less and can deliver similar audio quality and even more features. But of course, like I said, the open ear design is going to be the main reason you're getting these. So in conclusion, although there are better deals out there, the AirPods 3 are sort of in a class of their own. Besides the AirPods 3, there really aren't many premium open ear earbuds that fit well and sound as good as these. So for anyone seeking that open ear design, and whatever the reason might be, if you have sweaty ears, if you hate the feeling of silicone tips, or if you just want something that's quick, that's clean, that's hygienic, and is easy to use, then the AirPods 3 are going to be a fantastic buy. But as I mentioned, if you don't care about the open ear design and you don't care about the ecosystem, there are plenty of other great pairs you can choose from. It comes down to your personal preference and why you're buying the earbuds in the first place. So leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the Apple AirPods 3. Are these something you'd buy, or are you going to pass on these? As always, if you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'm Mike O'Brien. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.